Hey guys, welcome back to King's Outdoor Life. We're out on a friend of mine's farm today and it's chicken processing day. He's ordered 50 chickens that are broilers and a bunch of layers. You can see we've already got most of them out of there, but there's the little chicken run. He just moves it every day and they have fresh grass and bugs to eat. So all organic, all natural chickens we're processing today. What I'll do is we'll walk you through the process step by step and show you how to do this. If you've never done it, I haven't either, but we picked up on it quick. It's not much to it. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe. All right, so these things here are called killing cones. All right, so you want to pull this head out through the bottom. And this cone holds them in place. Here, Katie, you can watch the camera right here. See, it's recording.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Like that. So it severs the neck completely.
Is that one still alive?
Nope. It's instantly dead because its vertebra has been separated. Both of its main arteries are cut, so you're bleeding all the meat out of it, or the blood out of the meat. So that's the most humane way that I know to do it.
It's completely humane.
Yep.
All right, this one right here has been hanging for about 3 minutes, so we're gonna move him over from here.
It's definitely disgusting.
All right, Katie, let's come get on the timer. So we got our water here at 150 degrees. I'm gonna have to reset it. All right, so we're gonna reset our timer. So Katie, let's press start. We're gonna put it in the water. And we're gonna put it in there for 45 seconds. Just gonna hold it completely underwater for 45 seconds. And I believe our fire went out again. After we do this one, we'll need to reset it again.
It does sound like it.
And plus it's been off. It's been out.
It's still hot enough to loosen up the feathers though.
Yeah.
It's the purpose of it is to loosen all that stuff up so the feathers come off in the
And what we've learned so far is it gets a little below 150, you have to go a little longer than 45 seconds. If it gets over 150, you better not do it 45 seconds. It'll separate the skin and the plucker will mess the skin up.
I feel like we bailed it in pretty good.
Yeah, now the fire went out on this one. All right, we're at 45 seconds. You hit stop. You'll come up.
come over to the plucker.
Come to the plucking machine.
Okay, just push that green button down there for me.
I got it. So that spins it. Drop the chicken in. Hit it with water. Soak it down. This plucking machine has a place you can put your water hose, but we're using water hose for several things. So. Tumble it around. The bottom spins it and these rubber fingers sticking out pull the feathers off. And we're good to go. We'll pull a few feathers off and then we'll come to the cutting table. All right now.
Once you get your chicken plucked, start the processing portion of it. Cut right between that joint on its legs. We're going to put that in a pot. It's going to be used to make chicken stock with. Get those off. Take its tail, little incision there, little underneath. Twist it off, it goes in the bin. We got to get its craw out. Usually when they eat a bunch of food, you can feel it right there. These are deflated because they quit giving them feed about 24 hours ago. Man, that's a slick chicken. So make a little cut. We're gonna go find its craw. Right there it is. It'll be more prominent once you separate it from the skin. And we also have to separate everything from its neck. Just gonna grab and pull. Separate all that from the skin. Every bit of it, all the way down. See how the craw's still attached? Try to pull all that loose. And as soon as you get it loose like that, we'll be able to pull it clean through from the other side. Okay, flip it around. Make a small incision, do not cut the guts.
No.
Do not cut the guts. You just want to barely make a hole, just big enough to get your hand in. And you're just going to grab and pull. Separate them. And you put your hand in, start raking from the top clean everything out. We're gonna scoop and pull everything out at one go. So you got all these little strings and stuff that hold it all together. So just go through in a raking motion and just cut all that loose, all that you can get at one go. I'm going to get my whole hand in, rotate underneath of it, grabbing all this stuff. Hopefully get my finger through it. And this whole crawl is going to come out from the top. There's your crawl that was attached at the top side.
So you're pulling the esophagus, windpipe, everything you're pulling back through the backside.
Now sometimes the esophagus will stay until we get to the lungs. So you'll see the esophagus is still right here.
Yeah.
Once I get the lung scraper and I pull that out, these are going to come out with it. But we're going to get basically a big pile of the guts come out at one go. You get all this loose. Now we're going to make a little V cut. We're going to cut all the way down to the vent. So you cut this side all the way down. Try to get where the camera can see. Using my wrong hand. All the way down. Okay, now we're going to take.
Oh yeah.
See that?
I say I got lunch for all of this.
It's got a little grain on it. I wouldn't say that one.
A little grain and stuff with it, but normally what we would do, actually that just wiping off, it might have been from the crawl pulling through, could be anything, but this is a gallbladder. You want to make sure that it's not busted. You don't want that to bust. This whole flap right here is the liver. There's your heart. Get that loose there. That little muscle's your heart. So we normally take the liver, just pull it loose. You don't have to cut it or anything.
It's all connected with the tissue. You can just pull it loose. And there you go, the two-lobed liver.
Oh yeah.
Wash it and throw it in our liver bucket. Are you going fishing or are you going to eat them?
Eat them.
Okay.
Hey, it's good for you.
This is the gizzard.
Yeah, liver's really good for you. I just don't like to eat it.
Pull all this stuff loose from the gizzard. This is kind of their stomach. It's going to be full of rocks and grass and whatever it is that they're eating on. This one's got a lot of fat over it because their Cornish crosses are getting to be past their cutting date. You're just going to make a slit all the way down. Try to open them up. Sorry. Slit some more. I'm just going to open it. So here's its food. Here's whatever she's been eating.
Gizzard is where they process everything they're eating. So if you're going to eat the gizzard, you got to split it open like this and be sure you clean all that junk out.
Normally this skin will peel off. Some of the other ones have been doing pretty good. Yep, there it goes. You want to get all this off of it. Naturally it tears. Putting it on camera.
Yeah, since we got it on camera, it's definitely
not going smooth like the other ones have been.
It's all right. You need to see how to do things that don't go well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the trouble of editing all this out, so everybody gets to see things that don't go well.
Gotta be as realistic as possible.
That's right.
I mean, had a good beat going, didn't it? I got a bunch of fat on it. And let me just peel all this stuff off of it. Clean the rest of it when we get it inside, but essentially, that's your gizzard.
There you go.
Cleaned up, throw in the bucket.
It's called the Easy Plucker. We learned just a second ago, it'll do 2 chickens at a time. It will not do 3. We tripped the breaker trying to put 3 in there at one time. This vat right here is an electric vat to get it 150 degrees to scald them before you put them in the plucker here. Again, you can do 3 in here, but we've been doing 2 in here and 2 in there, and that works best. And all the feathers come out here. We put a piece of plastic down. It was a great idea. That way all these feathers will land on this plastic, and it makes it for easier cleanup later. After you get them all cleaned up, we put them in a cooler. We got a cooler full of ice water, and throw them in there, and they're ready to go. So I'll go back through this video again with some commentary now, because when we were doing this, we were, getting through the process, and not so much concerned with my video as getting through the process. These restrictor cones or restrictive cones, you may also see them called killing cones, they are exactly that. They're made to put these birds in to restrict their motion, if you will, while you go through the killing process. My buddy here made these this rack system, I guess you like to say, so we could do 4 chickens at a time. So you put 4x4s in the ground, and then put the 2x4s across, and we put the 3 different cones up so we can do 3 different chickens at a time. Those cones were a little small because the birds went about 1 week longer than they should have because his plucker was stuck in transit from Amazon or wherever he ordered it from. But anyway, so this next part, the scalding part, is important to understand. The water, temperature needs to be 150 degrees, and we found out a little bit on that because when we got it too hot, then, or did it too long, then when you put them in the plucker, it would pull the skin, separate the skin, and if you want to keep the skin on there, then that's certainly a problem. And if you didn't get it hot enough or didn't do it long enough, then it would leave feathers, and you'd have to then pull those feathers out manually. You can see we got a little garden tool there. That was just something we grabbed because you cannot put your hands in this water but for a second. Obviously, it's 150 degrees. So what you want to do there is use the rake or a stick or something to make sure you submerge them. Again, in this case, 45 seconds. And then you can grab by the feet, give them a couple of douses, and they are ready to go in the plucker. This plucker was really cool. And again, it's got a water attachment there on the side. You can just put your water hose where the water's constantly flowing in there. But we were spraying off everything with our water hose and didn't want to leave it, plugged in the plucker all the time with the water just running out. So you can see it just spins it, and I guess we didn't ever time the exact amount of time that it needs to stay in the plucker, but it's just you get a feel there, maybe 45 seconds or something like that. And some of them you can just turn it off, check it, then needs a little more, turn it on, let it go a little more. But we figured it out. It didn't take about 45 seconds, and away we went on that. The next process, once you got all the feathers off there, it becomes just like skinning a rabbit or a pheasant or a quail or anything else, or cleaning it, I should say. You have to remove the guts and remove all the insides that you obviously don't want to keep. Keep what you want to keep, as he was keeping the livers and some of the gizzards you'll see here. But at that point, it's just a matter of, like I said, cleaning any other wild bird and keep what you want to keep and dispose of the rest. And that part I've done many times. It was pretty simple. My buddy Brian here, he's a very detail-oriented guy, and he went into a lot of detail about removing the craw here. I'm not a detail-oriented guy. I split the skin there, cut the neck off, cut the craw and everything loose on the front side, and didn't worry about pulling it through. But to each his own. As long as you get it all removed, I don't know that it makes a difference there. But you can see these birds are real pretty birds, and we did about, while I was there, I had to leave a little early, but all total we did about 50 birds that day. And this is a very, very good way to have your own meat that you know where they've been. They've not been subject to any, different care or inorganic feed. So he's very pleased how this went, and we're going to look to do it here again in a few weeks when another buddy is going to use some of these tools that we've bought, and I'll get together and do this again. And now we know going forward, every year we can process these chickens ourselves. So hope you tuned into this video with the intention of learning how to do this and seeing how it's done, and I hope you did figure that out. And I appreciate you watching. Hope you got something out of it. Click like, subscribe, and see some of the other videos we do along the way.